It was a part of me then that I had to put away to kind of move on and survive. It was a survival tactic for sure.
God, it is the great unrequited love album.
Yeah.
Because it's so open and honest.
It's the great
You gave everything to that relationship.
young girl in love,
Yeah.
hopelessly, devotedly in love with the person she wants to be with forever.
Yeah.
And that type of love that you're not afraid to, you can't hide. You're just like, this is how I feel. This is who I am. I love this person.
Yeah.
I love him with all my heart and soul. And it was mutual.
That leads me to my next question. If it was too painful for you to acknowledge
Yeah.
that music,
Yeah.
it's your decision to leave it all on the table. Someone who it's about doesn't really have much of a role in that, right? They're the inspiration.
They're
not
the inspiration,
they're not the
muse.
creator.
Yeah.
So he has to live with that album too.
Yeah.
Has he ever talked about his relationship with that music?
I mean, he loves that album. He loves that music. And he knows all of the words. You know what I mean?
I think it's pretty sweet.
It's crazy. He also was with me while I was creating it. You know, and you know what it is to make an album. You're listening to the demos in the car. You're listening to the mixes. I wrote this today. What do you think of this? You know, it was that over and over and over again for 2 years while we were together, 2.5 years that we were together. You know, so he knows it so well and he loves it so much. And he's my biggest fan, which is awesome, and supporter. And when he came back into my life, again, the same thing happened, where I felt so inspired and so overtaken with emotion that it was just pouring out of me. And
So you felt good. And
I
what happens when you
felt
feel
amazing.
good?
When I feel good, I write music.
You write music.
I write music. And I wrote music and I got in the studio, and I think in May, and by August, when we got married, it was done.
Wow. Can we talk about it?
Yes, I'd love to.
So we know that you've remained loyal and faithful to music because throughout your film career and other opportunities, you've contributed your voice and your love of music to the world. It's not like you haven't made music.
No, no, no.
We just haven't had an album that has opened up your heart the way that album did.
No.
And so when you went back into the studio, well, let's actually rewind a second. How do you know? How do you know when you haven't focused on it for so long? What does it feel like?
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't done this.
That means you had to do it.
Yeah. I hadn't done this in 18 years when we first got back together. And I was like, I don't even know if I can do this, because I had done my singles and this, you know, became a very singles, also the music business changed during that time too. So it became a very singles driven culture, and I do a song here and a song there.
It keeps the candle
this,
alive, but it doesn't light the fire. It doesn't burn.
It doesn't change anything. It doesn't inspire anything. It doesn't move people in the same way. You know, it's a moment. Those singles are moments.
But you're also an
But an
incredibly
album-
open person. You know, everything that you do, I feel like you're trying to open up.
Yeah.
And as much as the world piles pressure on you, that makes you want to retreat, your instinct is to want to share.
My instinct is to give my whole heart all the time.
Yeah. And you can't do that with a song. You can do a bit of it.
You can do a little bit.
But you need a body of work, you need a moment in time.
And all I said to the producers that I worked with, and it was like 4 or 5 of us who worked on this record from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I was like, 20 years ago, I fell in love with the love of my life. And I was working on an album, and it was called This Is Me then. And it was all about capturing that moment in time. I said, now the most amazing, incredible, unbelievable thing has happened. And the reason we're here is because I want to capture this moment in time, because it is even better than the first time. So that's why we're here. And I sat them down and I shared stories with them, and we, you know, talked about it, and I was in the studio every single day, and every day we wrote 1 or 2 songs at least. Maybe sometimes 3, a third idea, this or that. And within, like I said, 2 months we were done with the album.
That's a lot of trust. Who are you with?
I went in with Roger.
Yep.
His team, he has Angel Lopez, Giddy. Do you know Giddy?
Yeah.
So it was really the three of them.
Yeah.
I was like, you three have to be here every single day because it is so amazing, and we captured it all every day. We were filming everything that happened, and it was Ink and myself and Stevie Mackey, and those were the staples. And then we had other amazing people like Dougie and Cadence and different songwriters come in and out who were awesome.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that was the crew.
Small crew, because it's your story. The last time you told this story, we've established this was love on full display. This is like, do with it what you will.
This is me.
This is me.
Then.
I made this then. I made this album for us, and whatever you want to do. And millions of people responded. I mean, it was a hugely successful album. So when it came time to writing an album again, 2.0, did you feel the same desire to be as open about your feelings now as you did then, or has something changed a little bit?
It was exactly the same. It was really about, I think because I went into it with the attitude of like, I'm gonna capture this moment in time, I'm different than I was 18, 20 years ago. I'm different than I was 20 years ago. I've grown, I've learned things, I've been through some shit. You know, I've had some hard times. I've been through divorce. I've been through a lot of different difficult relationships at times, and private things that happened, you know. But it got me to this place, and it was just about let's capture who I am right now, here today, and what I've gone through. I mean, we have songs on there that are like, talk about what this life is like for me. Whereas Jenny from the Block was like me going, I'm still Jenny from the Block. I know I'm famous now, I know this, but I'm still Jenny from the Block.
Well,
I'm talking about, you know, my life is not all hearts and flowers like you thought it may have been. Let me tell you a little bit about what it was like. You know, what I made it through and the things that I did. So we captured me at this moment in time when I was reunited with the love of my life, and we decided we were gonna be together forever. And the whole message of the album then is like, this love exists, this is a real love. Now I think what the message of the album is very much, if you were wondering, if you have, like me at times, lost hope, almost given up, don't. Because true love does exist. And some things do last forever. And that's real. And I want to put that message out to the world. And that it does take a lot of vulnerability. But I couldn't stop myself. And some parts of it scare me. And I think parts of it scare Ben too. He's like, oh, do you really want to
well, because there must
say
be
all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know how else to do it, baby.
Because there must be some PTSD from the first time around that lasted, even for a period of time, if not today, based on the fact that we're going to share this. It's pure, it's real, it's us, it's honest. Why wouldn't you see that? And what we saw in 2002, if you trace back to that moment, it was really like quite an ugly time.
Yeah.
Because the world, us, all of us, I'm not trying to create hierarchy here, we showed our hand. We showed our hand. We were like, it's too much. We don't want it, it's too much. Oh, your movie, no. Oh, your benefit, you're not two individuals, you're one collective brand.
Joke.
Yeah.
You're one collective joke.
And it was kind of brutal looking back on it now. It was brutal. And I don't feel there was actually a case study for that before you two came along.
No, it was a new thing. And it was very, it destroyed us. That was part of what destroyed us.